Good evening, good evening. Well, good morning to some of you people who are up. I check it. So I'm just going to drop in real quick with y'all. A little earlier, I thought to myself, I said, is the record Ballin' the the biggest song out of the Dipset crew? Is the record Ballin' by Jim Jones the biggest record out of the Dipset crew? Um, Not only is it the biggest song from a Dipset crew, but is could that possibly be like one of the biggest songs from a rapper coming out of Harlem? Um, the only song out of Harlem that I can say that was probably as big as that was probably "Feel So Good" by Mace. Um, but that "Feel So Good" came out back in like '97. Um, that was a big record. That was Mace. That was like I think that was Mace's first single off of Harlem World. But that Ballin' single was big. That was a big single. Like, um, and I could only imagine, the type of energy, the type of mental space Jim Jones was in when him and Cameron was, they had the feud or the Dipset. They had some disagreements during this time where he had went to perform with 50 Cent. So I mean, if I never felt like there was like a tremendous amount of hate within Dipset, even when they had their disagreements. It's like a brotherhood. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't like what your brother did. Sometimes you don't like what your sister did. Like, let's keep this on a plane of like, yo, these guys are family. These guys are brothers. You understand what I'm saying? And when in a family, you gonna have disagreements. In family, you're gonna do things that you know might offend your brother, who might offend your sister. You understand what I'm saying? So it's even like in a marriage. You know what I mean? Your wife or your husband might do something wrong to you or whatever the case is, and you might do something, but you don't wish no harm. You don't wish no danger on them. It's all about the get back, low key, right? So let's not forget about family. Let's not forget about people just trying to be successful or being, yes, Jesus is king. Make sure all y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the like buttons, the notification. All right. So that Jim Jones record was a big record. Ballin' was a big, big, big record. And Jim Jones, he looked at himself, listen, he's trying to get on a bigger platform. And he's like, yo, this is an opportunity for me to get on a stage, on a platform with 50 Cent. So if he's already going through his differences with Cam, if Dipset is really going what they going through, do you think in his head he's saying to himself, like, yo, let me um let me just, let me not do this record, let me not perform? Nah, this dude, he's like, yo, I gotta go for self. You know what I mean? So I just thought about it earlier, while I was at work. I was like, wow. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, that record. Hi, my friend has autism. Please shout him out. His name is Jamal. Shout out to Jamal, man. Shout out to Jamal. You know what I mean? You have your people's Lutz said you have autism. Hope you get well. Hope you just be strong, stand strong. You know. So yeah, autism is a real thing. Autism is a real thing. Um, I work in the psychiatric field, and I see patients that come in, adults that have autism. Um, I've even heard, I've heard stories about a lot of children these days or autistic, and we need to really find out what's really going on with that. Is it in the food? Is it what is it? What's going on? Um, and if I'm not gonna say it's in the food, and I'm not gonna act like some type of what do you want to call it? Because food sounds kind of crazy. Moreover, someone told me, I'm not no conspiracy theorist, but someone told me that it could possibly be in some of the immunizations that are coming, that some of the children are taking these days. So I'm just gonna leave that where that's at. I'm not even gonna, you know, get all into that. So yeah. So Jim Jones, he biggest record out of Dipset, biggest record out of Harlem was Ballin', I must say. A lot of times when you are approaching the throne per se, a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy can come your way. You know, um, I don't know if Jim felt that way from anybody on his team or any of whomever. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? I just know one thing, that we have to learn how to um, just stop the hate, stop the jealousy, learn how to support each other. I don't think Jim Jones feels like he received the same support. I feel like Jim feels like the energy that he was giving Cameron wasn't reciprocated when it was time for him. Good morning. When it was time for him to step up to the plate and do his numbers when he was dropping those records. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop looking at the aftermath of situation. Yes. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. One love. Yes. Um, okay, so I feel like Jim Jones, he really feels deep inside that he did not get that support from Cameron that he was giving Cam. Like this dude, I was just watching Choke No Joke, and one thing he did say was that a lot of beef um a lot of beef that Cam got from a lot of celebrities, a lot of rappers, whoever the case was, when he had beef with Mace, when he had beef with 50 or whomever, that wasn't his beef. That was Cam's beef. And Jim being a person who was the tough guy on the crew, the guy who always held them down, because Cam, he was always like the smooth cat, played a little thug here and there, but he was more or less like, you would call him Fleet, you know. But Jim Jones was like, he was the guy, he was the soldier, like he said. He was a soldier. He was the one that made sure they was good. He held them down. His soldiers, he made sure they was good. And I feel like when it was his time to shine, when that Ballin' record dropped, when he was dropping all that music on My Way to Church, Diary of a Summer, like he didn't get that same support from Cameron. And that all of that builds up. All that animosity builds up. You know what I mean? You could try to bury it as much as you can, but look how they performed when they performed against the Locks. That it showed. You understand what I'm saying? That we just watched like, yo, where's the, what I'm saying, where's the teamwork at? You know what I'm saying? So I think, as they going through their differences right now, which everybody, families go through this all the time, brothers go through this, friends go through this, like, can't, I don't know if this record gets to Cameron. I don't know if this record gets to Jim Jones. This record, this 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 I don't know if this video gets to them or not. You know what I mean? If they do get a chance to see this, when y'all going through your differences right now, you know what I'm saying? Cam, just understand where Jim is coming from. You understand what I'm saying? Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Or listen, all my people, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, we on this platform, we talk about solutions, we talk about building, we talk about, you know what I'm saying, current events, things that's going on, things that can change the culture. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I do on my platform. You know what I mean? I just came in from a 16 hour, what not 16 hours, like a 14-hour workday. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I made sure I came on my platform to let you guys know how I felt about this situation that's going on between Jim and Cam. Like, because it happens. It's hip hop. You know what I mean? These dudes is family. Moreover, like, I wanted to let you guys know how dedicated I am to this platform and giving you guys good content. All right, that's the big picture, real fast. You feel me? So, like I was just saying just now, you know, Jim is in his feelings. These guys are talking about him on the platform, 50 and him, and they going in. You know what I'm saying? Or they talking about the situation. And Jim is an emotional dude. I don't know what his sign is. I'm not into that whole sign thing or whatever. But Jim is an emotional dude. Everybody knows that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not to discredit him or make him feel less of a man. Moreover, like we all knows, he's the kind of brother that his temper can kind of get the best of him sometimes. You know what I mean? Or how he feels. And this man speaks how he feels. Everybody know Jim don't hold his tongue. No diddy. You know? So, what he said at the end of the day, he said how he felt, right? Then he also congratulated them. He said, yo, I hope these guys become successful from the podcast and all of that. You know what I mean? So he's from that, my boy is from that town. He's from that area, east side, you know what I'm saying? Where, niggas talk reckless. You feel me? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Palestine or Israel. I can't choose one. Palestine or Israel. I don't know. I can't tell you. I would love to go to both of those places in the future sometime. Okay. Israel. 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 All right. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to Harlem, man. Shout out to Dipset. Shout out to everybody. Israel, yes. Shout out to everybody that's doing something positive out here. You know what I mean? Stay positive. Whatever grind you're trying to get to, stick to it. You know what I mean? I said Israel. I'm with Israel. I'm gonna, if it's Israel, Palestine, I'm going with Israel because I want to go to Israel one day. Israel is a lot of history there. So yeah, man, like stick to your craft. Don't be afraid to step outside the box. Don't be afraid to be creative. Um, like you got to go all in. Stop looking for excuses. One thing I know about coming up in the game and just being to the level I am right now is like, you can't make excuses. The more excuses you make, the more it's going to hold you back and you're just keeping yourself back and then you start blaming this person, Nah, cut the excuses out. Cut the excuses out. You know what I mean? Go hard. You know what I mean? Pray. Do good things. God is going to bless you. You know what I mean? Like, God has blessed me, and I'm grateful for that, and it just encourages me to pray more and get closer to Him, and to become more spiritual, and to give me wisdom and knowledge, you know what I mean? So I can pass it on to people, because all of us need help in different areas. You understand what I'm saying? All of us, trying to get to that spot, you know? So I encourage you guys to read, pray, keep good people around you, stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? Stop going places where you don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, killing for no reason. People killing for no reason. Stop going places you don't need to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Learn how to stay in your house and pick up a book, watch a movie, cook something, do something therapeutic. You know what I mean? You don't always got to be around a crowd because a lot of crime is happening because people want to be around crowds. People want to feel accepted. You understand what I'm saying? Work on your craft. You understand what I'm saying? Play with your children or chill with your children. Call your father, call your mother, you know? Jimmy taking credit for Cam Pink era. He said he created the aesthetic. Well, he did. He created a lot of aesthetic for the diplomats. Like, I don't understand why that's so hard for people to understand. Like, and he probably did create the pink. He probably did take credit for that. I mean, bring the pink to the table. Like, y'all gotta understand. Like, why this should not be so far fetched. This isn't far fetched. Like, Jim was right. Trust me. If you think Cam going if Jim was lying, you think Cam going you think Cam not gonna come up and be like, yo, this nigga capping? Or whatever the case is, he could easily put it in his stories. Jim, stop the cap with the pink. Or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably did. That probably did happen. It's not far fetched. And it's not even a big deal. Like, big deal. You started wearing pink first. Like, if I was Cam, I wouldn't even go back and forth with him. I'm like, all right, whatever. So what? Like, come on, man. It's bigger than the color. You know what I'm saying? The Jim want to talk about pink, then talk about pink. That's like saying, oh, yeah, first when I started wearing Air Force Ones in the crew. You know what I'm saying? He did create a lot of aesthetic with Dipset. Like, a lot of the stuff he was doing, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Come on. Jim was the first rapper to bring the gang culture to New York. There was no other rapper talking about gangs and stuff like that, Bloods and Crips or whatever to my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So he was the first one, the first rapper from New York. You know what I'm saying? Big mentioned, like, he mentioned Crips or something like that in his one of his songs. I think same Crip, same hood, something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, but as far as, like, the whole gang, culture, whatever the case, he was the first rapper to bring it to the hood, to bring it to New York, to my knowledge. So it's like Jim Jones, like, and you listen, we gotta give Jim Jones his credit. This dude has been dropping music for a long time consistently. He might not drop the best music, like platinum music or whatever the case is, but excuse me, but this dude is dropping music like every freaking year. He's dropping a mixtape, a CD, a song. He's collaborating with a young artist. Like, you got to give this guy his credit, man. He's like the only dude, low key, on the East Coast that's really holding it down as far as rappers is concerned, man. A lot of y'all are talking a lot of smack about Jim, but he's the only one, literally, that's holding it down right now on the East Coast. He just shot a video in Harlem the other day with Future. Future was there, Lil Baby was there. Like, he's doing what he got to do, and people don't want to give my man his credit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Jim got a very good. Listen, man. Jim has a very disciplined work ethic, and I've seen it for myself in person. I saw it for myself. And sometimes when you're the hardest worker, you're gonna get a lot of hate, man. Yeah, he saved their freaking careers. Nobody ain't care. Listen, y'all gonna get me emotional like Jim. Of course he saved niggas ain't care about Cam and 50 like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, 50 doing his shows and all that kind of stuff like that. And 50 get a lot of his notoriety or attention from dissing other people, trolling other people. You know what I'm saying? Besides him doing power and all of that. But 50 ain't dropping no music. 50 ain't, but much love to 50. 50's a highly successful brother. Props to 50 Cent. Props to Cameron. They got the podcast and all that case and all of that. But as far as, like, trending in media right now, trending Hollywood's it called Hollywood Unlocked and Baller Alert and all these different platforms, they're trending right now because of what Jim Jones said. They're not trending because of the interview that Cam did with Cam did with 50 Cent. Niggas ain't really wasn't watching. I mean, I watched it because I wanted to hear, I'm into media. So I just, I watch different interviews to get tips, pause, to get information on ways to better my skills, to better my craft. You understand what I'm saying? So niggas wasn't really checking for that interview he did with 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Like that didn't go viral. That didn't go viral, respectfully. You understand what I'm saying? That interview that Cam did with 50 Cent became viral or became, it got the attention that it was supposed to get. Unfortunately, when Jim Jones responded and said what he said on that Justin LeBoy platform. And that's just what it is. Okay? Sometimes dudes hate on the hardest worker. All right? Jim Jones is the hardest worker in the music industry right now. And it's unfortunate. And that happens all the time. It happens in the workplace. It can happen anywhere. Sometimes the hardest worker in the building gets the most flack, gets the most hate. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's why sometimes Jim Jones can come across so emotional. And you see him crying on these platforms and things of that nature because he probably has so much love for people and have his intentions are so good. You know what I'm saying? He try to help people and do things and then then I think he's the kind of guy where when he know he's wrong, like he doesn't play the denial role. He doesn't play the like, oh, I'm not gonna admit I'm wrong or whatever the case is. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like if he feels uncomfortable, and I've been watching Boy Boy. Like I feel like when Jim is uncomfortable about talking about something, he's just not gonna mention something. He's just not gonna mention it. He's not gonna mention a person's name, or he's just not gonna mention the situation. And you can see it on his face. And the person who's interviewing him, they don't want to cross that line because they know how he can get, how they know how Jim can get. You know, I respect Jim because the man has a very good work ethic. Very good work ethic. You understand what I'm saying? Like when them dudes was recording at Sony Studios, them dudes was putting out music, hits. Jim Jones was in there working. I went up in that session. My boy had the room full of smoke, t-shirt off, no Diddy, or whatever. It was hot in there, and he was just in his bag. He was working. Dude was working, B. And I was just like, damn. And I had wild respect for him. He was up in the studio every day. Every day. You feel me? So it's like you gotta show people like that love, man. You gotta look past what the media puts out. Oh, they fight. Well, they're going back and forth. You know what I mean? They don't get along. Look past all of that and look at these people. Give these people, look at their credentials and why there's a possibility why they feel how they feel. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I hope Cameron could really look past whatever. Jim don't listen. I don't feel like Jim. Max B is a good dude. When Max B come home, Max B is gonna try to get to his music. You never know, man. Like you might see you listen. If Max do music with Jim, that'll shock a lot of dudes. What if Max B come home and do a song with Jim? You know what I'm saying? Or what if he come home and they piece up and you might see them give each other a pound or whatever the case is. Like, I hope they're able to put whatever, differences they had behind them. You know what I'm saying? When Max B come home, Max is trying to get to his music and keep doing what he's doing, man. You know? Max is a good dude, man. Max is a good dude. He's a smart dude and he's an honorable dude. You know what I'm saying? If they don't do no music together, then they don't do no music together. You know what I mean? But I don't think Jim isn't fair him coming home. If he isn't fair Max coming home, then hey, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just don't see Jim not making no more music after Max come home. I don't see Max coming home making music to diss Jim. I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. My man, I think Max is just trying to stay off the radar. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Max Beto, alumni brother. Shout out to his brother. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn, peace. You know what I mean? Peace to you. Peace to your family. You know what I'm saying? We Harlem, man. We Harlem all day, man. For real, for real. I'm going to drop some merch next month, you know what I'm saying, for Black History Month. Some hoodies or whatever. So make sure, I'm going to put the website up, you know what I'm saying, when it's ready. And y'all go cop that. But, and it's gonna be fire too. Trust me, it's gonna be fire. But yeah, man, like I'm Harlem for real, man. Let me and shout out to Harlem for real too. There's actually somebody named Harlem for real. Make sure y'all go to his Instagram. He has some very good content on there. You know what I'm saying? And support him too. Shout out to my dude MK212, Harlem's finest. Yeah. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, like, hit the notification button, share. I thank you guys for engaging in these conversations or what have you. But I'm about to take my black behind to sleep because I gotta work tomorrow and do another 14-hour shift. B. All right. So y'all stay up. One love.